Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning, good day. Kayla, what's up? Happy Tuesday, everybody. How are you? It's going to be a bit of a weird day. We're going to do a split stream. So we're going to do the news this morning, and then we're going to pop off for a little bit so I can get some life stuff done, and then we're going to stream this afternoon to do Hogwarts Legacy. I am much better. Kids aren't up yet. Yeah. But dude, my son was really not feeling great last night. My son's like my daughter's getting over it. My son's now coming down with it. So it's one of those things. Passing around the house, I guess. Good times. But it doesn't seem like it's taken too long for us to get over it. So, it's just one of those like little cold things, man, little viruses. So it doesn't seem like a COVID type thing, luckily, but just like a little normal cold, But my son really wasn't feeling too great last night. Just a lot of congestion and sore throat and stuff like that. So he passed out pretty early, and hopefully he'll be feeling better this morning. But thanks for asking, Kayla. I appreciate it. I'm feeling much better. But, yesterday was a much better day for me, anyways, and then today I'm back to normal. I spent like all night working last night on content again, and I'm almost totally caught up on VODs now. Almost there, thank goodness. I got a couple of days left of the forest stuff, and then we're all caught up. So that's good. Then I can start working on other stuff for the community and stay caught up moving forward, which will be good. Yeah, for sure. We will. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. No doubt. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Appreciate it. How are you doing? How is everybody doing this morning? Farrah, what's up, my dude? So, so today, so one of the reasons the stream got started a little bit late was because I was trying to ensure that we weren't going to be able to play Hogwarts Legacy this morning. I didn't find out because everything that I had been hearing, and I didn't really get good information on this until I ended the stream yesterday. But obviously, I put out a message to everyone in the announcements channel on the Discord that apparently they were cool with letting this game release for the deluxe edition to everybody on console at midnight around the world on the 7th, but not for PC users until the times that I put out there, which are also in the title of the stream, which is noon for us CST. Kind of weird. I don't know why that was the play. But it kind of messed our day up here a little bit because I definitely want to play this today. And I have other things I need to take care of today. So it was either stream something else today and take care of stuff this afternoon, or take care of stuff during the day after the news segment and then come back and stream later on and do some Hogwarts stuff. So that's what I plan to do. Now, at least... So the reason that I was a little bit confused was because they kept saying there's going to be no preload for PC. And then right before I went to bed last night, they let people preload on PC. And I was like, okay, well, if they're going to let people preload on PC, maybe they're actually going to release it and let people play it. So this morning I started looking around trying to see if I could start up the game and stuff like that, and they wouldn't. The game's preloaded and everything, but they're not letting anybody play the game still on PC until the times they announced, which sucks. Because they touted the entire deluxe edition as being 72 hours of early access, but it's not for PC users. That's kind of trash. I don't know. Feels bad, but it's, we'll get in there and play it today anyways. It is what it is, I guess. Oh, cool, Kayla. Right on. Normal crazy work day. Yeah, I don't know, like, how can they do that? How can they tout the entire, like, deluxe edition as being... And it doesn't say that... like everywhere on, like, you go to the Steam page, it says deluxe edition 72 hours early access. It's not. You don't get access the same time that the like the console players got it. So we're getting access basically 12 hours later, which isn't like a huge deal, but it messed up my timing for sure. But, you know, it is what it is. Right. Exactly. That's what I read too, Ferret. That's why I didn't think there was going to be any kind of issue until I read further into it, and I found out yesterday the actual situation, and that's why I had to hit everybody up and let everybody know what was going on. So, okay, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll start at noon. At least I got to preload it, so the game should be up and running right around noon. I'll just have to install it and everything at that point. So it's pre-downloaded and everything. There'll just be a little bit of installation that needs to happen, and then we'll be in the game and playing. So a little bit of a precursor to that, I do have something this afternoon that I might have to take a quick break out of playing the game. I don't know if I'll be able to come back and play some more this evening or not, but I'll see what I can do. Right, so PC, 72-hour early access minus 12 hours. So 60 hours of early access. Right. Yeah, I don't know. That feels really dumb. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Companies, idiots, dude. Yeah. Nice debate there, WB. Assholes. Yeah, I don't know. There's fine print everywhere apparently that says it, but it's like everywhere that's like it touts it as coming out the same time it does with every other deluxe version that released today, and it's like until you go and dig into it and read the fine print, you don't find out that the PC version doesn't. I don't know. That's really dumb, and that's bad form in my opinion on the part of WB, you know, the publisher. So I don't know. Feels really stupid. Not much we can do about it, but just work around it. But hey, man, I went and got my Snape wand out, so I'll show that off whenever we go start playing the game later today. I'm ready. Yeah, I can't either, Ferret. Because what's funny is they're like, well, you know, maybe it was, I don't know. I can't think of any technical reasoning because I was trying to think about it yesterday. What's funny is like, there are all kinds of people around the world that just started playing it like way before it was actually midnight in their time zone, you know, on console. All they did was switch their console's time zone to being like Australia or something like that, you know what I mean? And they got to get in there and start playing way ahead of what would normally be midnight for them, you know? So I don't know what their deal was with on the PC side of things. Really weird, but feels stupid. Maybe there's a legit reason. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's what was going on. Bizen King hit me up too, and he was like, "Yo, dude, there are people playing this that I know are not, you know, that I know are like in our time zones, and they're already playing this." And I was like, "Dude, they probably tricked the system. They probably set their console time zone to be like Australian or something like that, and it's already midnight there, so the game's already released. So they had like, you know." Their copy thinks that it's already time to play. You know what I mean? That's probably what they did. That's a pretty old trick. Yeah, it is an old trick. Yeah, it is. I figured at this point. I mean, dude, I haven't had a console I haven't tried anything like that in a long time on console because I've been strictly PC for such a long time now. Like. Dude, I haven't had a PS4 or a PS5. I haven't had an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X and S. So the past two, I mean, I've had a Switch, but I mean, I haven't tried anything like that on console. And I figured they probably had that kind of stuff sorted out. You know what I mean? To where people wouldn't be able to do that anymore as easily. But apparently not. Apparently not, dude. Well, there's no need in crossplay because it's not multiplayer. It's a single player game, dude. Yeah. So it's just that's one of the things that was crazy to me too. There is no multiplayer at all. And I had always just assumed up until 2 to 3 months ago, I had just assumed that it was a multiplayer game because it seems like the type of game that absolutely should be. Yeah, that's my thing too, dude. I was like, this is going to be a cool game. Hopefully, if it's good, we can play as a community, Because this is the type of game that just automatically seems like it should be played with other people. And once I started, it started getting closer to the release date, I started looking into it, and I was like, this is a single-player game? And I had to go back and like tell everybody in the community, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, this is not a multiplayer game. This is a single-player game. I don't know where I got confused there, and I think it was just because naturally what this universe entails and what it gives you as a player, especially as like an RPG, seems just natural to be a multiplayer experience. And they didn't do anything multiplayer in it. Yeah, something, dude. Something. I couldn't really believe it. So I'm sure it'll still be a cool experience, but it could have been exponentially cooler with some multiplayer in there, in my opinion. But it's cool, man. So basically, we're going to do the news. I'm going to hop off of here. I'm going to take care of some stuff that I would normally do in the afternoons after I end the stream. And I'll come back at noon and we'll game for a while today. At least for... So I've got to bounce out a little after 4 o'clock. I've got something else I got to do this evening, early evening. So we'll get at least a little over 4 hours in of gameplay today of the game. And if I can come back and play some more, I will. But I shouldn't be gone too long. And we'll just have to see how it goes. But either way, we're going to get some Hogwarts gaming in for day one, okay? On that note, it's good to see everybody. I hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and get into this news stuff. Cool. We're listening to some Subnautica this morning, by the way. If you're not aware of what Subnautica is, it's very cool. Survival, adventure, base building. Got a good story to it and everything, too. We're going to play it this year along with the DLC Below Zero. Got a good soundtrack, too. So, highly recommend. Go check it out, okay? Kill that music. Let's get into the news. There's going to be Hogwarts Legacy stuff everywhere, probably. Get 10 top-rated Steam games for only $5. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, I mean, honestly... there will be mounts, but I don't think there will be horses. There will be like hippogriffs, which are similar, kind of. Maybe some Pegasus or something. We'll have brooms, things like that. We'll see. Maybe we'll get with something named Roach. Maybe if we can name it, we'll see about it. I think it'll still be a good experience. But I mean, could you imagine a game like this, like MMO style, dude? This could have been so incredibly wild to experience as like a multiplayer experience, a game like this, you know? It's the perfect universe for it, you know? With the different houses. Maybe, dude, it could be. But, I mean, it's the perfect environment. It's the perfect universe for it. The different houses... You've got the setting perfectly set up already naturally by what the universe has in it to have the factions or the houses going against each other for every season, right? Every season, there, you know, for the game, you've got the houses already set up. You could have Quidditch be a part of it because you've got the houses set up already, right? You've got... It just seems natural, dude, for it to have a multiplayer experience because of the way the universe is set up with the, you know, the classes and growing into more powerful spellcasters and stuff like that. You know there would be Quidditch tournament. Oh yeah, dude, there would have to be. And not only that, but like just different kinds of house versus house kind of tournaments outside of anything that's Quidditch, like just going up against each other in different kinds of trials and things like that. You know what I mean? Which would probably have something to do with raids. You know what I mean? Which house gets the most raiding done? Things like that. You know, and at the end of the season, the people from each house that did the most contributions to the rating and stuff would get certain things. You know, I mean, it's so easy, dude. You know, it's perfectly set up for it. I did not think this was going to be a single player game till about 2 months ago, I think. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Uh, let's see here. GameStop giving up. Hey, comicbook.com. If the game's not free, they're not giving it away. Am I alone here? GameStop giving away two popular games for $2.50 each. That's not giving those games away. You still have to buy them. Are they very cheap? Yeah, they're very cheap. But they're not giving them away to you. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I guess that's the world we live in now, right? Ferret, I'm not surprised. But hey, comicbook.com, maybe choose your words better. Use your words like a big boy clone. You know what I mean? Ghost of Tsushima 2 multiplayer possibly leaked. Yeah, I don't get it, dude. It's like, I don't know. I see this kind of, and dude, comicbook.com is the worst. We get a lot of great content that comes out of comic book, but dude, they use terrible verbiage and they also just have misspelled crap in their articles all the time. I don't know who their editor is for their articles, but they might want to look at getting somebody else in there to start editing and proofreading these articles. I'm telling you, dude, 9 times out of 10, I read a comicbook.com article. There's misspelled words, mis bad verbiage in there. There's all kinds of wild stuff in the comicbook.com articles. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I have no idea. I don't know how they get published like that. I have no idea. There's got to be somebody that proofreads those before they go out, dude. There's got to be. Aside from just, yeah, I mean, the day and age we live in with like spell checkers, like auto spelling checks, dude, in everything you use nowadays. How is that stuff missed? I have no idea. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, yeah, my sentiments exactly, dude. I have no idea how that happens. It's not like you're just throwing stuff in there in real time, right? I mean, you're actually typing up an article to be um, posted up on a website, and until it's posted, like you've got the chance to like proofread it and edit it and things like that. They all, I'm telling you, seriously, it's like 90% of the time those articles have stuff like that in it from that site. Do we get a ton of great information from them. So I love their site, but it's crazy how much you know just mistakes are in their articles all the time. Xbox leak reveals Ubisoft Plus will include 60 plus games. Okay. Over 100 PlayStation VR 2 games are in development. I'm not going to dive into this. Look, what do we got? Like 30 to 40 games that are actually hitting right now this month with PlayStation VR 2's release. Is it surprising that there's another 100 maybe in development right now? No. But does that mean they're all actually going to end up coming out as well? No. So um, we'll wait and see what ends up actually coming to fruition for games down the line on the PlayStation VR 2. I think a good portion of this is going to hinge on how well PlayStation VR 2 does as well. Um, we already read an article where Sony is not real happy with pre-order status on this device, so they might start scaling back development of VR2 PlayStation VR2 games uh, if if sales don't go well, anyways. Who knows? At least on their own front. Playground Games is Fable 4 is seemingly in a playable state. Now, what this means is it's a game that is probably playable from start to finish for them now, but it's in a very unpolished state at this point. So they're looking to really wax on, wax off, if you will. You know, they're trying to like get this game rid of bugs. They're trying to make it look very good and get it in a really nice state at this point because that's what the development process is like, trying to get the game fully playable to where the developers can see the game front to back. You can get through it, but that doesn't mean there aren't still a plethora of issues and polishing that needs to be done on a game. But this is a good sign right here, so we'll take a look at this. Nintendo reconfirming release windows for major upcoming games. Doom creator wants devs to avoid shutting down games. How do you do that today? I don't know how you get them to avoid shutting down games. Planet of Lana shares footage of gorgeous platformer. Let's take a look at that. I mean, it's sad. It is sad. There are so many live service games nowadays that never actually come out on any kind of like, that will probably be lost forever after they shut down, you know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like are you is John Carmack, are you gonna keep all those games running, you know, because it's not that easy. Like it's an easy thing to say, but ultimately in the day the current state of gaming that we live in with so many live service games and uh it's just not viable. If a game doesn't have a good enough player base, if it's not bringing in enough profit, it doesn't make sense to keep it open and just keep, you know, hemorrhaging money, you know? Right, exactly. Yeah. People don't think about the upkeep, right? The upkeep is you know, there's a lot that goes into it. Whether you're talking about the hardware, the maintenance of the game, that's all the hardware it's running on, the manpower behind keeping it running and running smoothly, depending on what type of game it is, whatever. There's, yeah, I know, fair, yeah, yeah, both of us, right? It's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot that people don't think about whenever it goes into trying to keep a game running, you know? There's a lot of overhead, there's a lot of cost in it. And if there's not enough player base to justify keeping it open, man, you kind of got to just, you know, cut your losses and move on to something new that hopefully will be better. What else are you supposed to do? We already saw this yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Dude, it always gets me fired up. You know what's funny? I mean, have I told you like why I started doing this? I don't know. I talk about this every once in a while. I didn't initially, whenever I first started streaming, dude, I didn't do the news segments. It wasn't something I started off doing. But it was, I probably talked about it before. You've probably heard it. But yeah, so obviously I'm just like passionate about the gaming industry, right? I mean, there's just things about it that I try to advocate for what I feel to be what my vision of a healthier gaming industry would be, both I mean as a whole, for the consumer and for the developer and for relationships between us all and things like that, right? So it's something that I'm passionate about. And what had happened was I'd started to notice after I'd been streaming for a little bit that I would wake up because I wake up in the morning. I mean, this is like I start streaming at roughly 6 o'clock a.m. every single day, right? And I wake up at around 5. So like I wake up at 5, dude. I like try to get going, uh, you know, get ready, start streaming, and even then, like sometimes I just wasn't really ready to jump into playing games yet. So I would like take a beat sometimes, man, and just look at things online. And then I started like just it kind of turned into this. It just kind of turned into looking into what was going on in the gaming industry. And it evolved into doing this like video gaming news segment every single day. And it gives me time to kind of like not it started off as something to give me more of a buffer to kind of get some coffee in me, wake up a little bit more before I start really diving into my gaming stuff. But it's really become something very important to me just because of my passion behind the gaming industry and everything, and staying current on what's going on and very knowledgeable about some of the hot topics that are happening within the industry and things like that. And I've just kept it going because it's important to me. But um, not just for a buffer for waking up before gaming, but because I enjoy doing it so much and staying knowledgeable on what's happening in the industry. That's basically what happened. It kind of started off as like something to do just to look into what's happening to give me a buffer before I started gaming because I wouldn't be quite awake enough yet. Bingo, baby. What's up? Wait, dude, it's so weird seeing your name in white, dude. So weird, dude. Ooh, Luna's losing 50 plus games. Can it avoid Google Stadia's downfall? I'm sure that's what they're going to talk about. We'll see. We already looked at reviews of Hogwarts Legacy yesterday. Right now, there's a pretty positive response around this game. Now, all most of the reviews coming out are being played on console, I think. So we'll find out today. Again, this is going to be a split stream. We're going to do the news today, and then I'm going to come back at noon when the game releases. The game releases noon CST, which is our time for the stream time. That would be 1 o'clock Eastern and 10 o'clock Pacific. So 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Work off of that for if you're playing on PC, work off of that, and you've got the deluxe edition. Work off of that for whatever every other part of the world you're in. I've already pre-downloaded it, dude. I've already pre-downloaded it. They won't let you install it. So they said you wouldn't be able to even pre-download it, is what they were saying. And then right before I went to bed last night, they actually initiated a pre-download access. Yeah, yeah, I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. How does console? This is what we were already talking about this morning. Everywhere you look at this online, even on Steam, dude. Unless you go into some like really really fine print, it's touted as a 72-hour early access game if you get the digital deluxe edition. It's not for PC. It's a 60-hour early access game. Basically, at least for my time zone. Um, So yesterday, that's why after I quit the stream, after I shut down the stream yesterday, I found this out and I sent that message out because it was like, um, everywhere that you buy the game, it just says that it's coming out at midnight, 72-hour early access for console, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Then you read in the fine print, and it's like, oh, well, for PC, it doesn't actually release until the times that I just talked about. And they were saying there was going to be no preload. And I was like, dude, this is insane. Because it's a pretty large game. I think it was like, what, 70, maybe 80 gigs? I can't remember. Something like that. 60 to 80 gigs, something like that. So I was like, dude, I'm going to have to wait till noon, then download it, then install it. So I'm not going to get to like start this up until well after noon, while everybody else on console is getting to play at midnight their time, while on console, many people just set their time zones to like Australia to play it as early as possible, but PC, you can't play it until, like half a day later than what you thought you were going to. It's really stupid. I don't know. WB, you know what I mean? That's all I really have to say about that. Good old WB. So they were saying there wasn't even going to be a pre-download, so at least they did that. Right before I went to bed last night, they let the pre-download happen, and that's why I was a little bit late getting started this morning, because I was like, well, if they're letting the pre-download happen, maybe they're going to let us go ahead and start up the game earlier this morning, but they won't. Like, I can show you, actually. So I've already pre-downloaded it. App not released yet. So it was 70 gigs, and it's not released. So good times. And I do have the digital deluxe confirmed. It just I've already looked in my account to confirm that it does say digital deluxe. So I do have the version that I should be playing early. It just doesn't. It's hard to tell by just looking at the account and everything. But stupid, man. I don't know what to say. Feels bad for all PC players. But we'll just do a split stream today. I don't know. Really dumb. How are you today, buddy? EA's Iron Man video game seemingly enters full development. We knew that was in development, but apparently they're going hard on it now. Okay. I went a page too deep there, but it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all I looked at was like, that's what I saw everywhere. It was like 72-hour early access, and I saw that like basically everywhere was touting midnight release, midnight release as on the 7th, and it wasn't until yesterday, because obviously today's the 7th, and yesterday I was like, okay, I wonder when they're gonna like allow us to. Is there gonna be like a pre-download, stuff like that? So after the stream yesterday, I started looking into the pre-download, things like that, and that's whenever I found the whole like, oh, by the way, PC doesn't get to start playing this until roughly 12 hours later than everybody else. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I don't. That's. I mean, what? Give us a reason or something. You know what I mean? Other than just being idiots. Like what? I don't understand. What? Hogwarts Legacy has a trans character in it. Yeah, fair. That's probably it, dude. They're like, hey guys that are running the servers for the PC version. What time do you think we can start pushing this out on the 7th? They're like, well, not midnight. Sorry, all right, not midnight. Okay. Hey, dude, what was I saying yesterday when we were looking this up? I was like, you know what would be really funny as kind of a shot to JK would be like the ability WB introducing the ability to like make trans characters in the game or whatever, you know, and then take the look at that. We'll read that real quick. That's funny. Oh no way, dude! Analog presents a multi-video game system portable. What? Yo, if you guys don't know what Analog is, they make a piece of hardware that I've promoted a number of times here in the channel, just because it looks like a really cool piece of hardware for playing retro cartridges for old Game Boy, the old Neo Geo Pocket, um, Game Gear. It's a very cool device. Uh, Use magic to change? Polyjuice? Who knows, dude? Whatever the case may be, they're in the game. That's what I think matters. And I think it's great. But we'll see what they came out with now. We'll see what they came out with now. Um, it was also like a MIDI synthesizer for music. It had a dock just like a Switch does, so you can play all your games on a monitor or TV or whatever. It's a very cool device. It's about $220. I don't know what this new device is, but I'll show you both of them when we come across this article. Oh, Wick, did I? I don't think I tagged you last night, did I, dude? Here, brother, Wick, I got something for you, man. Hold on. It was at the end of the night. Here, brother. Put it right there too. Uh, uh, that was weird. Okay, here, dude. Yeah, there you go, dude. I meant to throw it. It was at the end of the night, dude. That didn't pop into Discord very well. Oh, that's why. I know. There we go. Yeah. It was like right then, and I did a bunch of content creation again last night, dude. Now that I'm feeling better and catching up, I'm almost totally caught up, dude, on VODs. Thank God. Now I just gotta stay current, dude. But I found that one, and I was like, oh, that's perfect, dude. I gotta throw that at Wick. All right. Marvel video game curse continues as Midnight Suns confirms what? Let's see what that is. Like that, dude. Dude, RDR2 has topped 50 million in sales. Yo, I have RDR2 and I want to play it. I've never played it. I want to play it so bad. That's a lot, dude. 50 mil. I have no use for that. Sure you do, dude. Well, we already saw that yesterday. If you want to see the Nina reveal, look at yesterday's news segment. Last page, and we'll jump into all this. Yo, I can't wait to watch the rest of the Last of Us once it all comes out. Sony's TV president says something about the God of War series. We'll take a quick peek at that. Disney Dreamlight Valley Update 3 coming next week. Overwatch 2 Season 3 release date. All right, let's stick with this. Let's jump in these, see what we got. I threw some pretty nice clips last night of I've got like 2 more episodes to get through of us playing the forest, but there were some pretty funny clips of Pinky and I playing the forest together that I threw a few of those in the clips channel last night too. If you guys want to take a look at those, that was a fun time, dude. Playing the forest, I was laughing like through that whole thing. I think Pinky was too, man. That was a pretty fun playthrough. Get 10 top-rated Steam games for only $5. Some of the best reviewed indie shooters, RPGs, puzzle games, and more. Fanatical's very positive bundle is the perfect deal if you're struggling to find well-reviewed games among the thousands of titles available on Steam. The do-it-yourself bundle lets you build your own pack of up to 10 PC games rated as very positive or overwhelmingly positive on Steam. The bundle starts at $1 for 1 game, $3 for 5, or $5 for 10 games. Each tier lets you select from a pool of 16 possible titles. Some of the highly reviewed games you can pick from are Far, Lone Cells, a sprawling adventure where players pilot their own sand-surfing airship across a vast wasteland filled with hazards, ruins, and hidden treasures. Another standout is Save Room, which turns the special inventory management of games like RE4 and Diablo into a Tetris-style puzzle game. Several RPGs to fill out your bundle with, including roguelite action RPG Astronaut, top-down tactical CRPG Tower of Time, Cosmic Star Heroine, which features old-school console RPG gameplay reminiscent of Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star. Nice. Plenty of other games to pick from in Fanatical's very positive bundle, including one-on-one fighting games, zany stunt racers, co-op shooters, and more. Full list below. Along with your games, this bundle also nets you a 5% off coupon, redeemable on future Fanatical purchases. Adventures of Chris, Astronaut, Buddy Simulator 1984, Cluster Truck, The Corridor, Cosmic Star Heroine, Deadly Days, Dive Kick, Far, Lone Cells, Joggernaut, Monstrum, Nobody's, Murder Cleaner, Nomad Survival, Tower of Time, Save Room, and Superbugs Awaken. If you need, I'll throw this in chat. There you go. GameStop giving away, dude. This is a terrible title. They're not giving them away if they cost you money. If you have to pay for something, they're not being given away. Okay, you still have to pay for them. It's a discount. It's a discount. They're cheap. GameStop selling 2 popular games very cheap for $2.50 each. Come on, man. They're not giving them away. GameStop is now giving away 2 popular games. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Idiots. Technically priced at $2.50 each. Yeah. They said, that said they come together in a bundle, so you'll have to fork over $5 total because they're not giving them away, because they're not free, and because you have to pay for them. This is still an outright still, though. You can't even get a dozen of eggs right now for $5, let alone 2 AAA video games. You also can't eat video games, though. Just so you guys know. I mean, I can't anyways. Let alone 2 great AAA video games. How long is this deal available? We don't know, but it's live as of this moment right now. Right. Yeah, I know. This is what I was thinking, but it's still stupid. Yeah. If you've never played either Bayonetta or Vanquish, you can now play both for just $5. Once you catch, it will be a pre-owned copy. Further, the deal is only available to Xbox One users. A PS4 version, even pre-owned, is $20. If you buy brand spanking new games, this deal is a bust, but it's worth noting that GameStop guarantees every pre-owned game it sells works perfectly or your money back. As for the games themselves, Bayonetta released in 2009 via developer Platinum Games and publisher Sega. Upon release, the game sold well and garnered a critical reception, thus kickstarted a series by the same name that's still going to this day. Yeah. Agreed. Vanquish isn't as critically acclaimed, didn't sell quite as well, and did not spawn a series by the same name, but it was certainly popular when it came out in 2010, which was 12 years ago. So you can get a 12 and 13-year-old game together for $5, which seems on par for previous gen consoles. This isn't a deal? Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, dude. Me too. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, I guess. If you're interested in this, here you go. But, sorry, comic book. Ghost of Tsushima 2 multiplayer possibly leaked. Dude, that actually makes me really hungry, though. Thanks, Ferret. Jeez, dude. A couple of job listings out of Sucker Punch Productions seemingly leak some details about Ghost of Tsushima 2. A sequel to 2020's popular PS4 exclusive has yet to be officially or formally announced, but it's always been a safe bet following the game's success, and previous job listings from the studio and PlayStation have all but confirmed its existence in the past as well. That said, it sounds like the sequel is going to have multiplayer. This may be surprising to some considering the first game did not have multiplayer. However, multiplayer was added to it after release via Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which didn't light the world on fire, but was a promising initial attempt and did garner a positive reception. What specifically points towards the existence of multiplayer in the second game? Sucker Punch is currently looking to hire a senior multiplayer mission designer and a senior multiplayer systems designer. This could be for a completely different game. However, there have been zero rumors or reports pointing towards anything beyond Ghost of Tsushima 2 being in development at the studio. Beyond this, the listings could simply point toward another post-launch Legends experience. But if that was the case, why is Sucker Punch already hiring for this work so early in the sequel's development? So this is some grain of salt here, okay? They're reaching here. They really. I mean, they're just going off of some really limited information they've gathered off of some job postings and what they know officially is in the works at this studio. So, it quite possibly could not be Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer, and it could absolutely be some totally different title. So, I don't know, man. I don't think there's worth putting a whole lot of stock into that yet. Xbox leak reveals Ubisoft Plus will include 60 plus games. Here's the full list so far. Back in early January, we started hearing rumblings that Ubisoft Plus might be gearing up for a release on Xbox with around 20 games appearing on the Xbox store with an Ubisoft Plus tag. Oh, it does it really? Yo, that's cool, dude. What's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy? Let me see this. That's pretty dope, dude. That's funny. An Axe Boy plushie, dude. Cultic, this was a sick game, by the way. If you guys haven't. This is a very, this is a throwback to old school, nice, look at him dancing down. This is a throwback to old school, FPS games. It's a modern take on retro FPS games, and it's very good. Highly recommend. We played it in, October, and shout out to Tinwin because it was a gift. So, thanks, buddy. Only €30 for the plushie. Yeah. It's a very good game, and it's not done. They're coming out with chapters for the game. So as you can see, it says Cultic Chapter 1 right here. It's actually coming out in chapters, so there's more to come, and it's very, very good. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, buddy. That's cool. So back in January, early January, we started hearing rumblings that Ubisoft Plus might be gearing up for a release on Xbox with around 20 games appearing on the Xbox store with an Ubisoft Plus tag. Now it seems we might actually have the full list of games that will be included with the catalog, which has increased to 63 titles. According to True Achievements, the following games will be included with Ubisoft Plus on Xbox. Jeez, dude. AC Chronicles China, India, and Russia. AC3 Remastered. AC4 Black Flag. AC Odyssey Origins, Rogue Remastered, Syndicate, the EZO Collection, Unity, and Valhalla. Battleship, Boggle, Child of Light, Family Feud, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon Classic, Far Cry 3 Classic, Far Cry 4, 5, 6, Far Cry New Dawn, Far Cry Primal, Fighter Within, For Honor, Grow Up, Hungry Shark World, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Jeopardy, Monopoly Madness, Monopoly Plus, Oddballers, Rabbids Invasion, the interactive TV show, Rabbids Party of Legends, Rayman Legends, Riders Republic, Risk Urban Assault, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, a complete edition, Scrabble, Shape Up, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Steep, The Crew 2, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Rainbow Six Extraction, The Division 2, Trackmania Turbo, Trackference, Trials Fusion, Trials of the Blood Dragon, Trials Rising, Trivial Pursuit Live, and Trivial Pursuit Live 2, Uno, Watch Dogs Legion, Watch Dogs 2, Wheel of Fortune, and Zombie. How do you pronounce that? Zombie? I'm guessing it's just Zombie. Still don't have a release date or pricing for Ubisoft Plus on Xbox at the time of writing, but we're expecting to find out more very soon. Already been confirmed that it won't be part of Xbox Game Pass. Just getting a subscription to Ubisoft's subscription service is like monthly more expensive than Game Pass is, which is kind of wild. I think it was like 17 or 18 bucks a month for Ubisoft Plus just on their own platform. So all this is really talking about is it coming to Xbox, right? Yeah, Ubisoft Plus coming to Xbox. So I don't know. If you want this, cool. I don't really think that right now, in my own opinion, you can really beat subscription service-wise. Everybody's got their own particular, preference, and everything's a bit respective towards each individual and what they prefer. But just the fact alone that Xbox launches all of their games day one on their subscription service as well really, really makes, in my opinion, Game Pass kind of shine above the other subscription services out there. So take that for what you will. Yeah. And for Ubisoft's paying that much for just getting Ubisoft games, I don't see that being worth. But to each their own. You know what I mean? It's right there in chat if you want. Oh, they did? 100% customized game? Oh, really? Interesting, Timwin. Oh, that's pretty gnarly, dude. Wow. Okay. Interesting, man. Nice. That's pretty crazy. Huh. Wild. Good to know, dude. Thank you. Awesome. Playground Games' Fable 4 is seemingly in a playable state. A recent update came from the game's producers suggests Fable is almost done. I wouldn't. A playable state, I don't think, is necessarily truly indicative of a game being almost done. Okay. So I know there are a lot of people hyped about Fable. A game being in a fully playable state still means that there can be quite a bit of polishing and, addressing of things like bugs and optimization, things like that need to go on within the title. But it's a good sign that the game is progressing very well. So, almost done. I still don't think we're going to see Fable for a little bit. They've still got a good amount of work to be done on this title, probably. But it is a good sign that it's developing at a good rate. Fable 4 could be on the way sooner than we think after the game's producer quietly reveals that the game is in a playable state. Depending on when it hit a playable state, I guess. If it just hit a playable state, there's still about an amount of time of work to be done on the game. If it's been in a playable state for a while, they might already have a good amount of polishing completed on the game. As spotted by Twisted Voxel, Fable 4 seems to be approaching the home stretch of its development after the game's producer Vijay Gill gave a very small insight into Fable's development via LinkedIn. According to Gill's profile, the producer has been preparing and facilitating regular game playthroughs and build reviews with key stakeholders, which would suggest the game is playable now. Despite it feeling like forever since Fable 4 was announced, we actually only found out about it in 2020, meaning we've only been waiting for just under 3 years for it now. Unfortunately, it's unlikely that we'll be able to play Fable for ourselves this year, as the team working on the game has been through several changes since this announcement, including gaining a new narrative lead. That could suggest there's still some work to do before the game is able to be released. This Fable game is in development from Playground Games, a studio that's primarily known for developing the Forza racing games. This is actually scaring a lot of people. Don't be too worried about this transition from the original developer to Playground Games, though. Xbox has said it knows giving Fable 4 to Forza Horizon Studio could be a little bit of a head scratcher, but has promised that they get it. The new Fable game is also being built using the same engine as Forza Motorsport, so you know it's going to look amazing if nothing else. So what, we just get another Scorn? The game looks good, but everything else about it feels terrible. That's not enough. I don't want to hear this. It's going to look amazing if nothing else, so cool. No, 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 no. That doesn't work, dude. That doesn't work. Um, and I'm sorry, but just having the developer, the owner of the developer say, "Don't worry about it," you know, Playground will do fine with it. I mean, hopefully they will, but taking a game genre that a studio has never really worked on and giving it to them and going, this is an iconic series that people have been waiting on for a long time to be brought back. Don't mess it up. Does anybody out there fully trust that they're going to follow through completely with that? I don't. I hope they do, but I have my reservations for sure. We'll see what happens. But at least we know it's moving along in development here. Nintendo reconfirms release windows for major upcoming Switch games. We are supposed to be getting, yeah, yeah. I mean, they could do fine. They could do fine. They could do a bang up job. It's not like they haven't developed some good games. It's just not good games. Notable games of this genre. So it's, and you're taking a very iconic series. It's not like they're trying their hand at a new IP or anything. This is something that people are hyped about, very hyped about, just because it's Fable, and they're gonna have to hit the mark, dude. So they've got a task on their hands. Um, we're supposed to be getting a Nintendo Direct this month. They said we were going to be getting one last month too, but we didn't. Nintendo is not good at giving us information about the Nintendo Direct showcases. If we find out when one's going to happen, we will watch it, okay? Until then, I guess just chill, and we'll once I find out information about one, I'll let everybody know. As part of its 9-month earnings report, Nintendo has reconfirmed the release dates for its major upcoming Nintendo Switch titles. As usual, there are no major surprises with this announcement. If you're anything like us, you're probably counting down the days to the launch of The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. We appreciate Nintendo reiterating we appreciate Nintendo reiterating the information regardless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude, This isn't even comic book. This is flipping Nintendo Live. Despite rumblings that Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp would finally be making its way to shop floors soon after its substantial delay last year, it's still listed as TBA in Nintendo's release schedule. Now, this isn't entirely surprising, all told. Nintendo isn't one for making major announcements in its earnings report, after all, but it's still something worth noting. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, February 24th. Bayonetta Origins, Cerazette and the Lost Demon, March 17th. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th. Pikmin 4, sometime this year. Metroid 4 Prime, TBA. This is what a lot of people are waiting for a Nintendo Direct for. A lot of people are waiting for a Nintendo Direct because they think we're going to get something on Metroid Prime 4. Advance Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, TBA. We're not going to beat around the bush with this one. If we remove Metroid Prime 4 and Advance Wars from the equation, the back half of 2023 is looking pretty slim in terms of major software titles. Now, we emphasize the word currently because there are whispers of a Nintendo Direct on the horizon for February, yes. But even if this doesn't happen, we're confident Nintendo will fill out its release schedule for the remainder of the year in the coming weeks and months. Trust in Nintendo. Do you? I guess appropriate coming from a website called Nintendo Life. All right, we'll keep track. Planet of Lana shares footage of gorgeous platformer in action. Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away is a guiding star for this 2D adventure. Ooh, oh, dude, that does look good. Nice. Cool. During the ID at Xbox Showcase, a developer wishfully shared a new look at 2 levels from upcoming adventure Planet Lana. While Planet of Lana didn't get a new release date beyond spring of 2023, Wishfully did reveal a fresh look at the game in action. The new footage takes place on the planet of Novo, follows protagonist Lana and her companion Mui through a swamp. The level tasks players with platforming their way across the swamp, solving puzzles to help Mui, who is afraid of water, reach the other side safely. Mui's own set of abilities also come into play, as the creature is able to hypnotize the swamp's tentacled inhabitants and reach locations that Lana cannot. Tentacles! Let's go. Next level showcase was set within the overgrown crash site of a spaceship. While it keeps Planet of Lana's hand-painted art style, it's much more industrial in nature, and the ship slowly returns to life as Lana explores further. 1 second, guys. Apologies. All right, let's keep going. It's very cute. I like it. Both levels also offered a sneak peek at composer Takeshi Furukawa's score for the game. Furukawa's prior game credits include 2016 action-adventure The Last Guardian, which was BAFTA nominated for its music. Speaking to press, creative director Adam Jarnlis, dude, I butchered that. I'm so sorry. Revealed that the Studio Ghibli's 2001 film Spirited Away served as a guiding star for Planet of Lana, which he described as feeling fun and quirky despite exploring a serious theme. Though a specific date is yet to be confirmed, Planet of Lana will launch as a day one Xbox Game Pass title for PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. As for what fans can expect, Planet of Lana's Steam page describes a story about a vibrant, beautiful planet and the journey to keep it that way. In other gaming news, Hollow Knight developer Team Cherry has filed new trademarks for a game called Fearless Fox. Yes, we already saw about that. Yeah. Yep. I actually put that in our main channel of the Discord because we are highly anticipating Silk Song from Team Cherry. We love Hollow Knight, and it's interesting that they've filed this trademark for a new game too, even though, you know, we don't have Silk Song yet. But Silk Song's supposed to be coming pretty soon, so ooh, give it to me, dude. I need it. I need some Silk Song. Got the itch, dude. Here you go. If you guys want this, there you go. Amazon Luna losing 50 plus games. Can it avoid Google Stadia's fate? Luna's quick loss of games has us worried. Luna is set to lose 50 games this month, including titles like The Medium, Snake Pass, No More Heroes, and Wonder Song. While games being put in and taken out of streaming services is a common cycle, the sheer amount of losses here begs the question on whether or not the company has seen success in the cloud gaming arena. Google Stadia shut down this year, and in Luna's competition against Xbox Cloud Gaming, it puts the service's future to question when so many games are being removed. Stadia completely failed, but the company never removed games from a player's library during the period in which it was active. It's not as if Luna has 1,000 games to boast either, as Cloud Dosage claims the service will have less than 175 titles by the time the removal of these games occur. The full list of games being removed from Amazon Luna this month are a lot. I'm not going to read all those 50 games, but I'll put it in there for you guys. Luna has the advantage of Amazon's funding behind it, but it's hard to imagine the service will ever be able to compete with Xbox's cloud gaming when it boasts well over 300 games to play, alongside its own exclusive titles like the recently launched Hi-Fi Rush. Great game, by the way. Xbox Cloud Gaming also recently surpassed 20 million users, as reported by The Verge. It's a lot. Luna seems like it's in a challenging position, needs to solidify itself as something worth investing in beyond other streaming gaming services. It's more than just that. Its biggest competition is Xbox, coming in with a slew of exclusive games and a platform that has an ecosystem spanning decades. Luna has made solid strides by introducing its Ubisoft Plus channel, giving users access to the company's lineup of games for an additional $15 a month. But losing over 50 games in a single month is not a great way to ensure its users are happy, especially since it lost a similar amount of games back in December. Hopefully the service continues to expand with new titles beyond the 2 games the company added this month. It's a tough segment right now, cloud gaming. There are like a couple of big players, obviously Xbox being one. Nvidia's got a big hold in there as well, and the rest are kind of struggling to find their place, it seems like, but we'll see what happens. If you guys need this list of games that are being lost out of Luna, there you go, it's in chat. EA's Iron Man video game seemingly enters full development. It looks as though EA's upcoming Iron Man video game has now entered into full production. In the back half of 2022, EA and Marvel confirmed that a new game tied to that character Iron Man was in the works at EA Motive. The project was said to be a third-person single-player title that would center around a new version of Tony Stark. And while details on this unnamed Iron Man game have been sparse so far, it sounds like Motive is now beginning work much more heavily on it. Motive is the one; they're the ones that just released Dead Space remake, right? So it would make sense that now they are turning over and focusing on a new title, with Dead Space being finished, Dead Space remake being finished, and we already knew that Iron Man was like their next title. It makes sense that they're full steam ahead on this project now. In a new message posted by Reddit recently, developers at EA Motive seemingly confirmed that Iron Man is now speeding up its development in the wake of Dead Space being released, right? Motive was also the studio behind the recent remake of Dead Space, and while the company might do more with the horror franchise in the future, it seems like Iron Man's development could now be picking up. Yeah, I said this initially too. I would not be surprised at all for them to do Dead Space 2 remake in the near future. The fact of the matter is, it seems like Dead Space 2 was fairly well developed. It was pretty well received. People have had a pretty good time in the Dead Space remake. And a lot of those assets that they've made and the world that they've created around the Dead Space remake is going to be, a lot of that is going to be reusable for Dead Space 2 remake. It's going to be really easy for them to get Dead Space 2 developed just off of using a lot of what was already developed for the Dead Space 1 remake. And because Dead Space 1's remake did fairly well, I think it's basically a no-brainer that they're just going to go ahead and dive into Dead Space 2 remake in the near future. Numerous factors that need to be taken into account at a studio and company level, but first, the team will make a well-deserved vacation before determining what's next, said Motive about its recent completion of Dead Space. We have an amazing team at Motive that started working on Iron Man, and you can rest assured that it's in great hands. Even if Iron Man is now fully in production at EA Motive, seems likely that the game won't release for a couple more years. Based on what has been shared already, Iron Man sounds like it's still very, very early into development. Most easily seen by the fact that the game still doesn't have an official title. Still, if we're lucky, perhaps we'll end up getting an official trailer for Iron Man at some point in the coming months. Yep. So we'll keep track, but it's pretty early for that. New Harry Potter video game introduces Wizarding World's first trans character. Effort to broaden representation stands in contrast to J.K. Rowling's remarks about trans women, though some fans think this step was still taken clumsily. A new Harry Potter video game is ostensibly trying to distance itself from J.K. Rowling and her string of transphobic comments with the introduction of the series' first trans character, and many fans are calling it a cynical way to make up for the character's rhetoric. Over the weekend, the first reviews of Hogwarts Legacy, a new open-world game set in the 1890s, well before the events of the main Harry Potter series began to pour in, and many noted the inclusion of a non-playable character named Sorona Ryan. Ryan is a witch that runs the Three Broomsticks, an inn and pub in Hogsmeade Village, that the player interacts with during a mission involving a goblin. Though Sorona doesn't say outright that she's trans, the inference is pretty clear from her dialogue. When speaking about the aforementioned goblin, Lodgok, she says, hadn't seen him in years when he came in a few months ago, but he recognized me instantly, which is more than I can say for some of my own classmates. Took them a second to realize I was actually a witch, not a wizard. Awesome. The inclusion of Sorona certainly seems pointed, as Harry Potter fans hurt by Rowling comments have been gearing up for the game's release and debating whether or not to boycott it. The stab at broadening representation hasn't exactly gone over well, not necessarily with Rowling's defenders, but rather Potter fans who have raised questions and criticism over the intent behind the character's inclusion and her incredibly minor role in the game. One prominent video game commenter and journalist, Stephanie Sterling, claims she heard from someone who worked on Hogwarts Legacy that they added a token trans NPC to pivot the conversation away from JKR. Liam Robertson, who works for the YouTube show Did You Know Gaming, said he heard basically the same thing, adding, there was apparently some trans representation added after some of the initial controversy. I don't know how it appears in the final product, but one of the sources I talked to described it as performative bullcrap. Representatives for Warner Brothers Games did not immediately return Rolling Stone's request for comment. It also should be noted that Rowling was not directly involved in the development of Hogwarts Legacy, a fact Warner Brothers Games seemed compelled to include in a fact page for the game. Of course, as the creator of the Harry Potter franchise, she will benefit from the game, of course. Random mode time, by the way. Another thing Harry Potter fans have noted about Sorona, her name, Sorona, is a traditional Celtic name, but some people have zeroed in on the choice to give a trans woman a name that starts with Sir. It even seems oddly in line with Rowling's own habit of giving some characters comically stereotypical names like Cho Chang, Seamus Finnegan, or Anthony Goldstein. As Juniper, a co-host of the podcast Western Kabuki, put it, I think the trans community can accept the first trans character in Harry Potter being named Sorona Ryan if they introduce the first TERF character and name her Divorced. All right, man. I don't know, dude. Random up. Go. It seems like people are like giving them negative points for trying. I don't know, dude. It's like that's how this comes off to me. It's like nothing would have been good enough here. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have mattered how much WB tried to distance themselves from Rowling and her sentiments about the trans community, which I don't agree with either. I don't agree with J.K. Rowling's sentiments. Um, but it seems like it wouldn't have mattered how much WB tried to do here. There are just there are too many people that want to boycott this game, and because it is built off of the universe that she created. So it seems like it wouldn't have mattered what they did. It wouldn't have been enough. That's how this comes off to me. You know, I don't know. So like, what do they just do nothing? If they hadn't done anything, right? If they hadn't put any kind of character in the game at all, to represent the trans community or anything like that, then it would have been they didn't do anything, right? There's no representation for the trans community in this game. Then they put something in the game, and then it's like, oh well, they did it just as a way to pull attention away from J.K. Rowling. You know, it's like, bro, I mean, what do you want them to do, man? You know, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like there's nothing they could have done, dude. And again, dude, I do not agree with J.K. Rowling's sentiments. This is an inclusive community. Those are my feelings. We don't discriminate. This is a place that's void of hate. We just want people to be good people and let people live their best life, you know. But I mean, honestly, it just it doesn't seem like WB or the developer. What, Avalanche, is that who? I can't remember. Could have done anything really to for the community. Anything they've done is going to be, would have been, and is going to be criticized here. It feels like to me. It doesn't seem like they can do anything right. I don't know. Well, that's because they're wrong. Bad grammar usage in articles. Yeah. It does ping me out a little bit. I just don't understand how it works its way into these articles so easily all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, that is 100% wrong. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like you said before, like with all the spell check and stuff that's out there, how does that happen? The auto spell check and stuff that happens with like literally anything you type or write on nowadays electronically. How does it always happen, dude? It's insane. I don't know. Uh, are they talking about the analog pocket? Oh, dude, this thing's been out for a while. Yeah, it's just the analog pocket. Yo, look. Okay, look. I'll just give you the website for this. The website's gonna be better. I've got this bookmarked. Check it out. If you haven't seen the analog pocket, I don't know why this is just coming into the news right now. This is the analog pocket. Okay. It is a very, very Game Boy looking device, right? Yeah. If you note, it's got 4 buttons on the front. You got your directional pad. You got some volume stuff over here. Check it out. It's a multi-video game system, portable handheld, a digital audio workstation with a built-in synthesizer and sequencer, a tribute to portable gaming out of the box. The Pocket is compatible with over 2,700 Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced game cartridges. The Pocket works with cartridge adapters for other handheld systems too, like Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Atari Lynx, and more. These are the adapters. You have to buy these separately, right? But these allow you to play those other games for like the Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx, right? But out of the box, it can play like all the old school Game Boy cartridges. And you can see the difference in, why is this like, I don't know, weird. The way the screen works and just playing the games. It's very, very cool, man. Not only that, but it has back bumper buttons too, back where the cartridges sit in. It's a USB-C port also. It's got a dock that comes with it, just like the Switch. It's a built-in synthesizer, so you can make music with it and stuff. MIDI and sync cables. Where's the dock at, dude? There's the dock. It's very cool, man. It's a very cool device. It's got both a black and a white version. I think the black looks slicker, personally. But either one, I think it's weird that they've got like a white version, but only a black dock, potentially. If you were going to get the white version, I would assume you would probably want a white dock to go with it. But I don't know. But you can see the bumper buttons on the back. This thing is pretty cool, man. Pretty gnarly little device. So if you're into playing old school cartridges, you like that nostalgic vibe of playing old cartridges, but you don't have the hardware, then this is potentially a very, very cool device to get your hands on. They've got pre-order. It's roughly $220 US, but it is a pretty cool little product, man. So I don't know. I'll link this for you guys. I thought they had come out with like a new device or something, but this just we just started following this about a year ago. I caught wind of this, and pretty cool little device here. Marvel video game curse continues as Midnight Suns confirms as a major flop. What? I thought people were enjoying this. Midnight Suns has been confirmed as a sales failure, despite positive reviews. Yeah, making it the third Marvel game in a row to do poorly. You'd think that making a Marvel video game would be a literal license to print money, but strangely, that's not the case at all. Insomniac's Spider-Man games have been exactly the sort of mega hits you'd expect, but Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Midnight Suns have all significantly underperformed. Avengers wasn't very good, but the other two were excellent, at least as good as Spider-Man, and yet they've sold far less than you'd expect based on both the name and the quality of the games. It was obviously the strategy game Midnight Suns wasn't doing very well, as it had massive price cuts just a few weeks after it was released. Yeah, we saw that. But now publisher Take-Two has confirmed as much, admitting that it's possible the release window wasn't perfect. Midnight Suns was released on December 2nd, which is a little late in the year for a major Christmas title, but not excessively so. It did always seem optimistic to try and launch a strategy game, even one using the Marvel license as a major Christmas title, but given 2022's gift-giving season was unusually quiet, it wasn't the stupidest idea ever. The risk didn't pay off, though. According to Bloomberg writer Jason Schreier, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick told him the game had been a critical success, but a commercial flop. There's still a lot of DLC to release for the game, with the Deadpool character recently being added, and Zelnick hopes that the game may have a long tail like other Fire Axis games. That may be true, but most sales now will be at a considerably less than full price, which will eat into the game's potential profits. It's already looking unlikely there will be any kind of sequel, but what this might mean for a new XCOM game is unclear. According to Midnight Suns co-director Jake Sullivan, work has not yet begun on a new entry, so it may be a long while till we find out. In the meantime, there's free demos of Midnight Suns on both Xbox and PS Plus Premium, and we strongly recommend you check them out if you can. Interesting. Yeah, everything I had read about the game was that people were really enjoying it. So I'm surprised that it's being considered a flop, like it just didn't sell well. That's crazy, man. Sony's TV president says God of War series will keep the values of the game. Yo, I don't know who's playing Kratos, but I saw something where somebody was saying that Dave Bautista would be a good Kratos. Dude, I 100% agree. I could absolutely see Dave Bautista with a beard playing Kratos, dude. He's got the voice. He's got the physique for it. I could see it 100%, dude. Absolutely, dude. Put a beard on him, dude. Get him the the tattoo stuff put on to make him look like Kratos. Dog, he's already bald. He's got the bald thing going already. He just needs the beard. He's got that deep, gruffy kind of voice. You know what I mean? I think it would work really well. He's got the physique, dude. I think it would work. Sony's TV president says God of War series will keep the values of the game. It appears as though there may be hope for video game adaptations in the live-action space. For the longest time, the video games would be adapted for TV or movie screens. It would go poorly more often than not. Even when you got a hit or one that at least wasn't terrible, it would immediately be followed up by one that would bring everything back down again. However, with the success of The Last of Us, many feel that the tide is changing. That's good because more gaming adaptations are already in the works, including the God of War TV series. As you can guess, there are many differences between these two franchises. One is based on a mostly realistic world, and the other is full of gods and monsters that must be brought to life in exciting and terrifying ways. The good news is that the series is being handled by Amazon, so the budget should be good enough to handle the CGI and VFX issues. Aristotle, what's up, bro? How you doing? We've seen big budget movies and TV shows still be terrible, and it's mainly because they stray way too far from what the games are. In an interview with Deadline, Sony Pictures TV studio president Catherine Pope discussed the upcoming God of War adaptation and promised that all its values would be in place. Quote, I'm so impressed with what they're already doing in terms of building out that world and expanding, keeping all the values of the game, but also expanding it so that if you don't know the game, it's still going to be a really satisfying show on its own, Pope said. I think people somehow think it's an easier job to develop IP, but in many ways, it's harder than coming up with an original idea. She's not wrong. When developing an original series, you can make the rules and the world to your liking. Moreover, the audience doesn't know what to expect as they've never been there. But with an adaptation, there's reference material to look up, games to play, cutscenes to watch, etc. They know what's coming because they've potentially seen it all before. That being said, not unlike with the HBO series, the Amazon show, expanding the lore and characters to help flesh them out more isn't a bad idea. Also important that Kratos gets his due, and that the fights with the gods and monsters are incredibly intense and brutal. Only time will tell if it goes in that direction. Who's playing Kratos, dude? That's what we need to know. Doing? Oh, C19 passed, but breathing is still crap. Yeah, dude, that happens for sure. I had a buddy of mine that got COVID right after the pandemic hit. He got it, dude, and his breathing was affected for a significant amount of time after he recovered and was no longer testing for positive for the virus and everything. It messed his lungs up for a while. It was pretty brutal. So yeah, it affects a lot of people in different ways, man. But I'm glad that you're no longer dealing with the virus, but sorry that your breathing's labored, dude. That sucks. It's good to see you, though, buddy. Disney Dreamlight Valley Update 3 coming next week for all our Disney community players. After offering a short teaser video last week, Disney Dreamlight Valley developer Gameloft has now revealed a release date for Update 3, February 16th. The update will see the addition of Maribel Madrigal from Encanto, as well as Olaf from Frozen. We already kind of hit on this, but I'll touch on it again. Unfortunately, no additional details have been provided about the update, but a new piece of artwork was revealed alongside today's announcement. The art features the doorknob from last week's teaser, as well as Casita, the Madrigal family home from Encanto. A new animal friend, a purple rabbit wearing a hat, can also be seen. The new art for Update 3 can be found in the tweet embedded below. Check it. Bam. There you go. Scary. I don't like Mickey, dude. Following Update 3's release, Disney Dreamlight Valley fans have quite a bit to look forward to. Gameloft recently released a roadmap for 2023, laying out some of its plans for this year. Following Update 3's release, players can look forward to the debut of The Lion King Simba in April, as well as a star path centered around Disney parks. In an interview with comicbook.com about the roadmap, Gameloft reiterated that a free-to-play release is still planned for this year, though no exact timetable was provided. We also tried to find out what players can expect from that Disney Park Star Path, but the developer couldn't offer us more than a couple of teases. Readers that missed that interview can find it right here at this link. I'll link this for everybody. Disney Dreamlight Valley released in early access last year and has quickly found a passionate following. The game is a life sim that builds on ideas and concepts from titles like Animal Crossing New Horizons and Stardew Valley, but it incorporates themes and characters from the worlds of Disney and Pixar. Till the free-to-play version releases, players can only access the game through Xbox Game Pass or by purchasing one of the multiple Founders Pack options on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Here you go. Here you go. Right on, Veristol. It's good to see you, buddy. All right, this is the last article I have. So again, it's going to be a weird day. I'm kind of splitting the stream in half. So we're going to finish up the news, and then I'm going to bring the stream down for a little bit so I can take care of some other stuff today. We will be back up around noon today. So about 4 hours from now, I'll bring the stream back up, and we're going to play Hogwarts Legacy for the afternoon today. Okay, afternoon, early evening. We'll see how long. There's some other stuff going on about 4.5 hours after I start streaming today, where I might have to take a quick break, but I might be able to come back and play some more tonight. So it's a weird day. Hogwarts Legacy for PC doesn't release until noon for us, and so I just need to go ahead and take an amount of time in between the news and starting that gameplay to get some other stuff taken care of that I would normally take care of at night, and then the after the stream usually ends. So it's a bit of a tossing schedule stuff around. You know what I mean? But if anybody has anything else to add for the news segment today, let me know in chat, and we'll address it before we move on. Before I forget, don't forget to get your free games, okay? City of Gangsters, all right, and Dishonored Death of the Outsider. I don't like saying that. I don't like saying it. Not going to take me down. You know what I mean? You got two days left. Oh, yeah, for sure, Ver. So, yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, so I'm trying to make everybody aware. I'll put something out in the Discord, too, to make everybody aware of when we're going to be back live. But City of Gangsters, Dishonored, these are both titles that are free for the next 2 days, roughly. And then Recipe for Disaster will be the next free title in Epic. So go get your free games. Even if you're not a PC gamer, you might be at some point in the future. So you can just go on their website, create an account, and just grab your free games. Start building yourself a library. If at some point in the future you decide, I'm going to start doing some PC gaming, you'll have a big library of games to play. It's easy. There's no reason not to. It'll take about 5 minutes to create an account, grab your free games, and then it takes roughly 2 to 3 minutes every single week to just jump in here and grab your free games every single week. They give away free games every week. Just do it, man. Last article. Overwatch 2 Season 3 release date, time, update, patch notes, Antarctic map, One Punch Man. Blizzard is about to unleash a brand new season in Overwatch 2, complete with balance changes, a brand new battle pass, and lots more. Overwatch 2 fans are counting down to the start of Season 3 on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, S1, PC, and Switch. The new Overwatch 2 season has a February 7th release date and a 6 p.m. GMT UK launch time. Needless to say, the new season will be accompanied by a massive new update, not to mention a new battle pass with a host of legendary skins, emotes, sprays, and more. The headline, new cosmetic, is the Amaterasu Kariko Mythic skin, which is available alongside the Honeybee Mercy skin in the starter pack and the Beekeeper Sigma skin in the Ultimate Battle Pass pack. Speaking of cosmetics, one of the more exciting features of the new season is the ability to earn credits through the Battle Pass. Credits can be used in the item shop and against over 250 different cosmetics from the original Overwatch. Elsewhere, the new season introduces the Antarctic Peninsula map, which is home to an abandoned Eco Point station. Blizzard will also add a new Streamer Protect feature, which will give broadcasters the ability to hide sensitive information when playing live. Dude, are you serious? This is just now being incorporated into this? How long has this game been out? How popular has it been for people to stream this game? And this is just something that's being incorporated into this title. Wow. Other features, items, and in-game events will debut during the season, such as the Lover Watch Valentine's Dating Sim on February 13th and the One Punch Man crossover on March 7th. If you want to find out more about the gameplay, tweaks, and features by checking out the patch notes below. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to work through here. If you're, I'll put it in chat. If you guys are into the Overwatch stuff, the patch notes are going to be down there at the bottom. Okay, there you go, guys. There you go. And that's the news. Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. Give you guys a peek, dude. Come back at noon, and I'll show you my wand, chat. You guys want to see my wand? I got a Snape wand. Kappa. So we're gonna play Hogwarts Legacy later on today. It's just a weird deal. For some reason, WB decided to do weird stuff with allowing console players to play the game at midnight, but PC players can't play the game until noon Central, which is our time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. I don't know what their reasoning is behind that, but will there be cheese? Quite possibly. You know me, man. I'll be eating something for sure. There could be cheese. There could be cheese. I like cheese. I got some blue cheese I need to eat. I need to figure out what I want to eat it on, though. I love blue cheese. But it'll be a good time, man. So it's a bit of a weird day. Usually we run right into our gaming stuff right now. But I'm going to take a little bit of time here, shut the stream down, take care of some life stuff, and get ready to game at noon. Okay, the game they said they weren't going to let us preload on PC, but they did allow us to preload last night. So the game's downloaded already. I just have to install it, and then we'll be rocking and rolling, man. Rocking and rolling with Hogwarts Legacy at 12 o'clock CST. So 4 hours from now. 4 hours from now. Okay, so set your timers. Come back, hang out. And let's experience what the PC version of Hogwarts Legacy has to offer us. Okay, get your wands ready. You know, go polish your wands up. Kappa? I don't know. Be good. We'll be back here. You guys are amazing. Thanks for being you. Just a second. Let me get this going real quick. Let's get some tunes. Let's go. There we go. Yeah. So to everybody that's part of this community, you're amazing. I appreciate you very much. If anybody's checking out this content, or any other content that might be a highlight on or a VOD on the Twitch channel, or a VOD on the YouTube channel, whether it be the news segments or funny clips or just episodes of playthroughs or whatever, and you're enjoying the content, come see about hanging out with us whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We start off all of our streams with video gaming news before we jump into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I will catch everybody later today in about 4 hours, man. We will start up some Hogwarts Legacy, all right? 12 o'clock p.m., noon, CST. We'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy. You guys rock. Thanks for being you. I'll see you in a little bit, all right? I guess.